This is everything I bought when I first started my PDR business. My name is Ethan. I am a 25-year-old paintless dent repair technician out of Northern Michigan. I started my business when I was 22, and these are all the tools that I bought.
Long story short, I worked for a local dent company for a few years, but I was let go during the pandemic. And then I decided to take out a loan and buy these PDR tools. And since I didn't have a ton of cash, I was very selective about the tools I bought.
First up is the Pro PDR Solutions 36-inch hail light. So I actually have a little quick light right here, but I use this. I don't bring this with me when I go on a mobile call. I just use the big light because I can push it back farther, I can see more, and I'm just generally notice that my repairs are better when I use a hail light for any type of dent repair. Now it's up to you. If you're on a tighter budget, maybe go with the little one first and upgrade later. Next up, we have the Dent Craft selection. We have the brace tool selection. I'm actually missing one of the smaller brace tools, but I guess that tells you I'm not missing it too bad. Otherwise, I would have replaced it. Then we have the ultra thin whale tail, absolutely essential. The half-inch whale tail, just as essential. The inch and a half. I think this is the 2-inch. I mean, these will get you to the bottoms of doors. Next up is the shaved tool 3/8. Whoops. Is great for getting in the factory 3/8 holes when you actually need a whale tail, but you can't fit the ultra thin because it's too wide. So I'd say this is pretty essential as well. Now there's 1,000 door tools out there. I really like this one because it's really stout, which obviously a door tool needs to be indexable. And while it's not the most ergonomic, I do like the ball. It lands quite nicely in the middle of the palm of my hand, and I can get some pretty good power. Next, another door tool, because we need a sharp door tool. It's a PDR Finesse, I believe, and it's very sharp tip. You can get very accurate, indexable, and it's got a longer handle, which means more leverage. Then we have our window guard. You can't be without a window guard. The felt is peeling up on the back one, but you absolutely need a window guard. The wider, the better. Otherwise, you're going to be breaking windows, laminated glass. And that is not a fun thing to explain to anybody. Next up on the essential list, at least for me, I use the Dentcraft half-inch tools all the time. Interchangeable tips. They're strong, stout, double bend, single bend, and this is what I started with. I started with just these two. If you can go a little longer than 24, maybe 30, I think that's ideal for leverage, because these, you're just pushing way too hard. If you've got it any length into a door or anything, you're pushing way too hard. Next, you got the hammer. It's a 12-ounce Vaughn hammer, I believe, and you cannot fix dents without knockdowns. We've got Dentcraft with interchangeable nylon tip, Peak knockdown, Kiko, root beer, VIP 2.0 with just a, I didn't used to have these, but the VIP, it's the polished metal tip for very precise tapping down. And then extension selection, R4, can't go without an R4. Red caps, sharp bullet tip for finishing, a large rubber or even the bigger one with the red. I really like the Shane Jack's blending hammer. I typically run a nylon tip on the end. You're going to need a drill set and bits and sockets. And then this is a right angle, which is really handy for wheel wells. Door jammer. For Elimident glue gun, yeah. Various tabs. I have a lot of gangrene, ice tab, dead center ice tabs from Kiko, Dent Reaper tabs. They're all good ones. Some of the super tabs from Kiko as well. Centipede creased tabs. you'd probably mini lift them or use the K-beam. Tension wasn't as popular, so there are some tools that I think make this outdated, I guess, a little bit. But yeah, this is what I had back then. I really like the 2-pound Dentcraft slide hammer because it's heavy enough to really move some metal. I actually like to wrap a microfiber at the end so it creates some sort of a dead blow effect. I found that to be really effective on rails and larger damage if I'm cold gluing them. And I didn't have cold glue when I first started, but I do now. These are trim tools I cannot go without. This one, for obvious reasons, is clip puller. This is great for hood insulators. This one's great for pulling door panels, tailgate caps. This is the bed cap king. Tighten set, just I have one of them right here, but get a whole Tighten set. Got a ratchet rope, your hood prop. So prop a hood with this, then you ratchet it down. You have the baby whale tails specifically for hoods. That's where I use these the most. Little Milwaukee cordless polisher slash sander with ultrafine pad, foam pad, and then wool pad. I just use rubbing compound. I'll typically use Toll Cut 3000 grit rubbing compound machine polish to get the swirl marks out. For storage, I use a little toolbox that doubles as a stool. It works fantastic. Now I have a bunch of tools I've collected throughout the years, but this stool is just very nice for organizing. Next, I like these Husky bags for the glue pulling. This is my polishing bag. That's my glue pulling bag. Little tiny stool for when you need a little more height. For some of my longer tools, I bought the entire Dentcraft wire tool set. They sit for a long time, but when you need them, you need them. And for the two starters, 42 inch single bend, and then I believe this is the 48 double bend. These often double as bedside tools slash hail rods if I'm working on a roof. You don't need the snow tires unless you live in the north like I do. So the Eliminate glue gun, it's a really good glue gun. It's starting to deteriorate after 3 years though, so it's lasted a long time. Kind of an expensive glue gun compared to, I don't know, a wired. If you don't want to spring for that, I do have the MeLif hot glue gun cordless with Milwaukee. I honestly just stick with this most of the time, but this thing works pretty good too. I don't know how durable it is though, because I beat that thing up, the Eliminate, and it does fine. It's got a 6 amp hour battery, and just picking it up all the time, you can see why that's wearing out. Obviously, you got to have your chargers for whatever platform you like to use. Extension cord with the heat gun. You can get a heat gun holder. I highly recommend it. Okay, some tools I didn't have when I started out, but I quickly found out that I did need were 3/8 tools of some kind. So this is, I really like Dentcraft apparently. 30-inch single bend. Next up, 20-inch double bend indexable handle 3/8 tool. This is fantastic for working the top of bedsides. Excalibur brace tools are great. They reach so far into a hood because the way that the Dentcraft one is, you end up just hitting that single bend that it has in the middle. These just keep going right through. So the Glexo cold glue set, you'll use it all the time. It is really nice to have. The reason that I actually bought it when I did was I saw one of Mike Toledo's videos where he used the big tab to pull out a tail light, and I was like, it's worth it just for that, because some taillights are incredibly stubborn. Bonus tip: get a tripod. That way you can record your repairs, so you can put videos up on ads or your website or your social media. Scroll through your videos, take certain frames that you want, post them, put them on your story, whatever. Get yourself one and start recording so you can have more content for later.
And so the grand total comes to $6,542.26.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this video has helped you in your decisions on what or what not to get if you are starting in your paintless dent removal journey. Like, subscribe if you got any value out of this video, and good luck. Keep killing it.